Okay, I'm watching another Corey Anton video. This one is called A Few of My Views. And as usual, if not always, not always, usually, Corey gives me something to think about. And so he starts right out at a minute in, and he says he doesn't understand atheism. And I might have talked about this before, but as I understand atheism, there's all kinds of atheisms and all kinds of atheists. That there are those atheists that just don't care about God, and they might not even call themselves atheists, but that's a form of atheism. They don't care about theism. And then there are the recovering theists who might be more actively not theistic, almost anti-theistic, and there's a whole spectrum of atheists and atheism. I think that's pretty easy to understand, but I didn't realize it existed until I was involved with a news group, Alt Atheism, and some cross-posted messages that came into Alt Philosophy Taoism. So I started talking with these atheists, writing back and forth, and understanding where they were coming from. It was real interesting. I like to think I understand it a little bit better now. And there's an atheist in me, just like there's a theist in me, which for a lot of people is difficult to understand. I see myself quite often as being in a sort of quantum superposition of sorts of views, where I can take on any view at any time, depending on the circumstance, and I might take one side or a different side. In order to have a conversation, there has to be some kind of a converse. So someone will say something, and there's a contrary spirit about me that will say conversely, and then we'll start to go back and forth for the sake of the conversation. So this isn't really a conversation, it's more of a monologue. Let me get back to what Corey was saying. Alright, at a minute and 21 seconds, Corey says he's a kind of an anti-ist. I don't have a problem being an ist or an Ian, wearing a hat, being ish, all of that kind of stuff. I don't shy away from it. Sometimes I tread lightly, but I'm happy to jump right in there. Alright, a minute and 50 seconds in. Is the universe intelligent? I would like to say that the universe is a word. 2 words, and that's a reification to begin with. And so already I'm coming at it from a different place. To think that the universe is or isn't intelligent, I would say, given that the universe exists, both intelligence and non-intelligence arise within the universe. The universe is in some sense neither. It's more like Tao, except different. And I would like to think that at some level, some meta level, Corey knows that, because he knows about language and how it works. So this is real interesting. So Corey is continuing, and he appears to be a little bit befuddled about how people can adopt certain views. And the way I like to look at it is, from a certain view, things look a certain way. Kind of like the little umpire story that Corey talked about in another video. From the view of there being a self, a Hindu type of view, various things make sense. Metaphors are wonderful. To see life as a school, as a dress rehearsal, as a prison. To see everything as meaningless, as pointless. For me, discovering pointlessness sometimes is very liberating. Oh, wow, there's no point. That's great. And then at other times to see, oh, every point is meaningful. Every point is a point on the grid, absolutely. So I can be all over the map in at least 4 different dimensions. Make that 5, because it gets to be complex. Oop, gotta answer the phone. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if I lost my train of thought. We'll find out. Okay, 5 minutes in. Corey doesn't understand God as being an old man on a throne somewhere in heaven. I can understand that. Yeah, that's a stretchy metaphor there. Even to say the self of the universe, as if the universe was some sort of a self that could multiply itself and become all of us, that's kind of an anthropocentric type of a view. So I see it as a view. To see God as an old man on a throne, I don't have a problem with that because it's a view. Sometimes I like to think that a paradigm, once it is entered into, creates a reality of sorts, a psychological reality, and possibly even a physical reality wherein miracles can happen. And I don't think Corey's experienced a whole lot of miracles, or if he has, he hasn't known what to do with them. And maybe he just leaves them as unexplained phenomena. Okay, so Corey says he doesn't get it. Well, in order to get it, in order to explain it, I would need a view. And so if I adopt a Hindu type view, then it all makes sense. That there's drama within drama, and Corey's part in the play is to not get it. So as the self, he has forgotten himself as being all selves, and he's Corey Anton, the guy that doesn't get it. And that's cool. Okay, what is all this? What does it mean to have consciousness? Okay, that's a question beginning with an interrogative pronoun that assumes or presumes there is a what. And then comes other words, consciousness. Consciousness as a reification. So Corey's doing all this kind of stuff, and I don't know if he doesn't understand what he's doing or if he's forgotten what he's doing. Because I know at some various meta and meta levels, he knows what he's doing. Okay, Corey goes a little mystical here at around 6 minutes or so in. Very good, very good. It talks about meaning and love and the point, and I get all that Corey doesn't need anything more, and that's good. That's very good. So other people need more, and why do they need more? Well, that's a good question. Is it genetic? Is it nurture? Is there something else besides, beyond nature nurture? How do we want to slice it up and dice it up and mince all the words in order to explain it and present it as a view, as if the view is something beyond itself? Okay, Corey's involvement, even though he's highly evolved, he's involved with meaningful lives, and how can we make people or help people, how can people be helped to create and contribute and be significant and be heroic. And so that's his calling as a teacher. I get that. So his mission as an evangelist of sorts is to sort through, and his appeal to people is somewhere in between atheism and theism, and that's very attractive to a lot of modern thinkers, I think. And I think YouTube only gives me 10 minutes, so I'm going to have to wrap this up and maybe go into a part 2. I'm always jumping the gun here. 7.5 minutes into his talk, I'm already up into the 8s. Corey talks about eternal versus ongoing. And I like to see the eternal as being now. It's always now. Eternity is the present is the gift, and it unfolds itself. I like to say stuff like that. I'm not sure. Corey will probably say something like that. Let me go back to listening. Juggling, yes, I saw Corey do a juggling video, and I've tried a little bit of juggling myself, and I haven't been willing to put enough practice into it. I like to juggle words. That's really a love that I have, to toss them up in the air, do a little word salad, add a little dressing to it, make words out of meanings out of words, combine meanings, spell words differently, put a spell on words, put a spin on the words, a lot of puns, a lot of multi-layeredness, double entendres, triple entendres. Yeah, that's a view of my views as a word smith and a word juggler. Absolutely. At almost 9 minutes in, Corey talks about the demonic ways people can be and how it's a problem. And for me, seeing everything as a dance of energy puts problems at another level. Yes, definitely evil exists for sure as a problem on many levels. At the level of everything being a dance of energy, there are no more problems. So I hop and skip from level to level. I gotta close this out, or YouTube won't let me throw it up. So I'll probably be back